This public service program has been prepared and presented by Crime Stoppers with the cooperation of Michigan law enforcement authorities and the family and friends of the victims of the crimes described, in the hope that viewers will call in with tips which will help solve these crimes in southeastern Michigan. Crime Stoppers relies upon information provided by Michigan law enforcement authorities in the production of this programming. Crime Stoppers doesn't assume responsibility to update this public service presentation as featured crimes are solved.
Crime Stoppers of Michigan firmly believes in creating safe neighborhoods and keeping them that way by empowering citizens to help in the fight against crime. In 2011, Crime Stoppers received more than 6,000 tips and cash rewards of over $50,000 were issued, resulting in numerous arrests. Now we need your help again to capture and place back behind bars parole violators of various crimes who have violated your trust in granting them another chance in society. You can continue to help keep your neighborhood safe by calling 1-800-SPEAK-UP with a tip. If your tip leads to an arrest, you can earn cash rewards of up to $1,000.
These two are on the front lines fighting crime every day. Our U.S. Attorney Barbara McQuaid is here from her Detroit office, and the Crime Stoppers of Michigan President John Broad. The new initiative, Barbara, we'll start with you, is Detroit One. Explain how it works and brag about the success already.
Well, federal, state, and local law enforcement officers have joined forces to focus on the worst of the worst offenders in Detroit. And by sharing information and coordinating efforts, we've been very successful so far. In the 6 weeks or so since it launched, we've arrested 40 very violent criminals. These are people charged with crimes like assault with intent to commit murder, rape, very serious drug trafficking crimes with guns. And we believe that by removing those violent offenders from the streets, we can improve public safety for everyone. That's amazing success already. The program is working. John, you speak with groups all over explaining the virtues and benefits of Crime Stoppers. Some people are skeptical that it's an anonymous program, and you have to persuade them that it is.
Absolutely. And I think it's working, but it's a slow process. When someone makes a tip to Crime Stoppers, they're actually calling our call center in Toronto, Canada, outside of the United States. And there's no caller ID, there's no law enforcement people there. When someone calls, they become a tip number, and that's the only way that we know who called.
We have a couple of fugitives for you to be looking for tonight. We believe they could be in the Metro Detroit area. We begin with 23-year-old Derek Miller, wanted for murder. Our victim was William Warren, who was killed November the 10th of 2012. Our victim, Mr. Warren, was walking home from a gas station with another man. They stepped onto a porch, and a masked gunman with an AK-47 walked up, said a few words, and started firing. Derek Miller, wanted for murder. Errol Johnson is a 24-year-old, wanted for assault with intent to murder. This was in Northwest Detroit. Tony Cromer was shot in the back. He's our victim. Tony Cromer was on Mansfield Street in Northwest Detroit when a black 2008 Chrysler 300 pulled up. The rear driver's side passenger lowered the window and fired multiple shots from a long gun. Of course, Mr. Cromer was struck in the back but did survive. And right now there's a warrant for Errol Johnson, 24-year-old, wanted for assault with intent to murder.
Paul D. Bennett, convicted of delivery and manufacturing of a controlled substance, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 58 years old, 5 feet 11 inches, and weighing 187 pounds. Paul goes by the nicknames of Ronald Bennett. Hannibal Aaron Bush, convicted of carjacking, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 25 years old, 5 feet 10 inches, and weighing 150 pounds. Kristen Ann Grabber, convicted of larceny in a building, is wanted for violating her parole. She is 32 years old, 5 feet 4 inches, and weighing 130 pounds. Lisa M. Harden, convicted of home invasion, second degree, and armed robbery, is wanted for violating her parole. She is 41 years old, 5 feet, and weighing 110 pounds. Lisa goes by the nicknames of Alicia Lorraine Harden, Lisa Oni, Lisa Michelle Stinson, Lisa Rochelle Harden Oni, and Michelle Hicks. Brenda Heron, convicted of unarmed robbery, is wanted for violating her parole. She is 40 years old, 5 feet 6 inches, and weighing 140 pounds. Brenda goes by the nicknames of Brenda Denlon Heron, Brenda Darina Heron, Brenda Darlon Heron, and Brenda Darlene Heron. Tina Renee Mullins, convicted of larceny from the person and possession of a controlled substance, is wanted for violating her parole. She is 42 years old, 5 feet 7 inches, and weighing 176 pounds. Tina goes by the nicknames of Christina Lynn Johnson, Christina Renee Reyes, Ellen Renee Fisher, and Tammy Ann James. Dwayne Thomas, convicted of fleeing a police officer, 4th degree, receiving and concealing stolen property, delivery and manufacturing a controlled substance, and breaking and entering with intent, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 52 years old, 5 feet 9 inches, and weighing 200 pounds. Dwayne goes by the nickname of Kenneth Thomas. Christopher William Begley, convicted of home invasion, 1st degree, possession of a controlled substance, and larceny in a building, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 44 years old, 6 feet 1 inches, and weighing 180 pounds. David Michael Miguel, convicted of larceny by conversion, $1,000 or more, armed robbery, and unarmed robbery, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 46 years old, 5 feet 11 inches, and weighing 185 pounds. David goes by the nicknames of Alan L. Dick, Dick L. Allen, and Mag Miguel. Latoya Cerise Hurst, convicted of uttering and publishing, is wanted for violating her parole. She is 31 years old, 4 feet 11 inches, and weighing 140 pounds. Latoya goes by the nickname of Katrina Renee Hurst. Darius Duran Boyd, convicted of assault with a dangerous weapon, weapons, and possession of a controlled substance, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 39 years old, 5 feet 5 inches, and weighing 150 pounds. Darius goes by the nickname of Des Boyd. Yvette Stokes, convicted of 2 counts of retail fraud, is wanted for violating her parole. She is 52 years old, 5 feet 6 inches, and weighing 170 pounds. Yvonne Harris, convicted of armed robbery, is wanted for violating her parole. She is 59 years old, 5 feet 7 inches, and weighing 215 pounds. Yvonne goes by the nicknames of Deborah Harris, Stephen William Marshall, and Yvonne DeCarlo Harris. Tobias Ward, convicted of larceny from a person, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 50 years old, 5 feet 11 inches, and weighing 165 pounds. Tobias goes by the nicknames of Donald Ward, Jerry Ward, Tobias Collins, Tony Collins, and Tony Coons. Tony Wayne Melton, convicted of 2 counts of larceny of a person, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 46 years old, 5 feet 9 inches, and weighing 160 pounds. Lee goes by the nickname of Clinton. Timothy M. Daniels, convicted of retail fraud, breaking, entering occupied building with intent, delivery of a controlled substance, and receiving stolen property, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 48 years old, 6 feet 1 inches, and weighing 180 pounds. Timothy goes by the nicknames of Barry Johnson, Michael Willis, Randall Miles, Sean Daniels, T. Daniels, Terry Jones, and Tim Harris. Mario J. Royal, convicted of assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder, felony, firearm, and discharging firearms towards a building, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 37 years old, 5 feet 7 inches, and weighing 167 pounds. Mario goes by the nickname of Marcus Johnson. Ernestine Chenault, convicted of unarmed robbery, is wanted for violating her parole. She is 51 years old, 5 feet 4 inches, and weighing 166 pounds. Ernestine goes by the nicknames of Angelica, Ernestine Sardin, and Ernestine Adams. Donald Montgomery Jr., convicted of assault with intent to commit sexual penetration, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 53 years old, 5 feet 10 inches, and weighing 165 pounds. Derek Calhoun, convicted of felony firearm and possession, manufacturing of a controlled substance, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 34 years old, 6 feet 2 inches tall, and weighing 230 pounds. Derek goes by the nicknames of Dalray, Deshawn, and Delphius. DeAndre Ahmad Turner, convicted of 2 counts of receiving and concealing stolen property, assault on a police officer, and unlawful driving away an auto, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 44 years old, 5 feet 9 inches, and weighing 265 pounds. DeAndre goes by the nicknames of Andre, DeMar, and Dandre. Charles Hudson Head III, convicted of unlawful driving away a vehicle, receiving and concealing stolen property, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 31 years old, 5 feet 8 inches, and weighing 160 pounds. Andre Jason Betty, convicted of breaking and entering with intent, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 27 years old, 5 feet 10 inches, and weighing 215 pounds.
Kwame K. Reagans, convicted of 6 counts of computer fraud over $100, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 42 years old, 5 feet 11 inches tall, and weighing 180 pounds. Kwame goes by the nicknames of Mani, Alandis, Blind, Clifton, Ellis, Hamani, and Hezekiah. DeVille Anthony Johnson, convicted of possession and delivery of a controlled substance, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 35 years old, 6 feet 2 inches tall, and weighing 160 pounds. Sterling Edwards, convicted of unarmed robbery and home invasion, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 43 years old, 5 feet 8 inches tall, and weighing 170 pounds. Sterling goes by the nicknames of Mitchell and Edwards. Charlene Marie Brown, convicted of prostitution and larceny from a person, is wanted for violating her parole. She is 33 years old, 5 feet tall, and weighing 170 pounds. Charlene goes by the nicknames of Lisa Marie Black and Nicole Verlemans. D'Angelo Nixon, convicted of delivery and manufacturing of a controlled substance, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 30 years old, 5'11", and weighing 155 pounds. Donald Hillary Huey, convicted of robbery unarmed, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 39 years old, 5 feet 9 inches tall, and weighing 150 pounds. He goes by the nickname of Kenneth Baker and Todd. John Anthony Grant, convicted of felony firearm, uttering and publishing, possession of a controlled substance, and fleeing a police officer, is wanted for violating his parole. He's 43, 5'9", 155 pounds, and goes by the nickname of John Anthony. Lowell Allen Packnett, convicted of retail fraud, breaking and entering, possession of a controlled substance, cocaine, is wanted for violating his parole. 59 years old, 5'11", weighing 160 pounds. Lowell goes by the nickname of Alan Brown Bay, Laurel, and Lowell Dugan. Robert Lynn Green, convicted of breaking and entering and receiving and concealing stolen property, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 53 years old, 5'7", and weighing 150 pounds. Robert goes by the nickname of Robert Craig, Robert Thompson, and Roger Craig. Stephen Owens Williams, convicted of breaking and entering and home invasion, is wanted for violating his parole. He's 26 years old, 6'2", and weighing 196 pounds. Stephen goes by the nicknames of Stefan, Stephen Owens, and Williams Owen. William Benson, convicted of breaking and entering, is wanted for violating his parole. He's 43 years old, 5'8", and weighing 150 pounds. William goes by the nicknames of Edward Smith, Jerry Benson, Jerry Colger, Joe Benson, Lonnie Bernard McClawyer, Michael Tate, Michael Taylor, and William Pope. Demond Antoine Williams, convicted of delivery of a controlled substance, manufacturing marijuana, is wanted for violating his parole. He's 26 years old, 5 feet 11 inches, and weighing 160 pounds. Demond goes by the nicknames of DeMar, Derek, Eric G., Keith, and Michael. Don Raul Halsey goes by the nicknames of Dan and Glenn Blanc. He is convicted of bank robbery and arson and is wanted for violating his parole. He's 40 years old, 5'7", and weighing 155 pounds. Gary Hopper, convicted of breaking and entering, malicious destruction of property, and receiving and concealing stolen property, is wanted for violating his parole. He's 47 years old, 5'8" and weighing 195 pounds. Gary goes by the nicknames of Darnell, Newbie. Nell Flynn Oliver, convicted of receiving and concealing stolen property, motor vehicle, is wanted for violating his parole. He's 48 years old, 6 feet, and weighing 202 pounds. Linnell goes by the nickname of DM, Mitchell, Donald Phillips, Douglas, Flynn, Ivory Donaldson, James Oliver, and Keon Bynum. Stephen Maurice Moten, convicted of embezzling an agent or trustee over $100, is wanted for violating his parole. He's 46 years old, 6'1", and weighing 220 pounds. Stephen goes by the nickname of Stephen Johnson. Michael Frederick Gordon, convicted of felonious assault, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 50 years old, 5'9", and weighing 150 pounds. Darrell Banks, convicted of possession of a controlled substance and breaking and entering, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 55 years old, 5 feet 8 inches, and weighing 200 pounds. Darrell goes by the nickname of Darrell Reynolds and Dale. Eugene Brown, convicted of robbery unarmed and carjacking, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 29 years old, 5 feet 8 inches tall, and weighing 180 pounds. Eugene goes by the nickname of Jamel Brown, Mario Brown, Refused, Ricky Jamel Gould, and Terrence Ross. Gordon Sullivan, convicted of retail fraud, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 55 years old, 6 feet tall, and weighing 225 pounds. Gordon goes by the nickname of Mickey Jones. James Rocket, convicted of home invasion, larceny from a person, and armed robbery, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 53 years old, 5 feet 10 inches tall, and weighing 165 pounds. James goes by the nickname of Hosea Jenkins, Robert Jenkins, and Hosey Rocket. Cole Edward Fluellen, convicted of unarmed robbery, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 44 years old, 5 feet 10 inches tall, and weighing 220 pounds. Nicole goes by the nickname of Edward and Sherwood. Warren M. Cavito, convicted of aggravated stalking, is wanted for violating his parole. He's 44 years old, 5 feet 11 inches tall, and weighing 180 pounds. Warren goes by the nicknames of Donald Raymond Gilman, Michael Warren Cavito, Patrick James Baker, and Paul.
Carlos Isaac Ayala, convicted of criminal sexual conduct, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 30 years old, 5 feet 9 inches tall, and weighing 155 pounds. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Cecil P. Wee Dorsey, convicted of delivery of a controlled substance, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 53 years old, 5 feet 8 inches tall, and weighing 165 pounds. Cecil goes by the nicknames of Pee-wee, Cecil Davis, and Jamaquise Jones. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Cephas Myers, convicted of assault, armed robbery, breaking and entering, and larceny, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 48 years old, 5 feet 9 inches tall, and weighing 175 pounds. Cephas goes by the nickname of Carlos Myers. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Cesar Manuel Alvarez Meraz, convicted of possessing a controlled substance, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 28 years old, 5 feet 6 inches tall, and weighing 170 pounds. Caesar goes by the nickname of Edward Sepulveda. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Christopher R. Smith, convicted of arson, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 29 years old, 5 feet 6 inches tall, and weighing 150 pounds. Christopher goes by the nickname of Eric D. Smith. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest.
Craig Clark, convicted of weapons felony firearm, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 44 years old and weighing 190 pounds. Craig goes by the nickname of Craig Stevens. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest.
Daniel Williams is wanted for violating his parole. He is 29 years old, 5 feet 8 inches tall, and weighing 175 pounds. Daniel goes by the nicknames of Alvin Rudolph, Dammy Darrell Williams, and Sammy Darrell Williams. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest.
Are you among those who believe Crime Stoppers is just another branch of the police department, the Department of Corrections, Michigan State Police, or the prosecutor's office? I used to think the same thing. Now I know it's not. Not too long ago, I was sitting right where you are, doing a 20-year bit. When I heard about Crime Stoppers, I knew they only cared about locking people up. I knew Crime Stoppers just wanted someone to snitch. I was certain they didn't care about people who called in tips being found out. Now I know what I didn't know. Crime Stoppers really does go through extreme measures to see to it that those who call in tips remain anonymous. I know because Crime Stoppers gave me, a convicted armed robber, a job, a chance to give back. Now I see how they operate with my own eyes. Even if you try to give your name, the call center located in Canada won't accept it. They will not take your name. For example, in your excitement, you might say, "My next door neighbor is the guy you're looking for. He's home now." The call center will leave that out and say something like this: "We just received a call stating that the guy you're looking for is at this address." They won't repeat that it's next door to the one who called in the tip. There's no recording, there's no caller ID, there's no contact with police officers, detectives, or prosecutors. It's just you and the call center. The call center, to ensure you are not identified, will provide you only a number so that Crime Stoppers recognizes you when you call again to check on the progress of your tip and to collect your reward. Only this number is needed, not your name, to collect your reward. We need your help to make the neighborhood safe by getting dangerous people off the streets. You can help with unsolved cases, the whereabouts of someone on the run, or criminal activity. Earn cash rewards and remain anonymous. If the crime is solved, if someone is caught that is responsible for the crime, or weapons or drugs are confiscated because of your tip, you are eligible for a reward.
Danny Evans is wanted for violating his parole. He is 48 years old, 5 feet 11 inches tall, and weighing 200 pounds. Danny goes by the nicknames of Darnell and Terrence. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Darwin C. Ivory is wanted for violating his parole. He is 48 years old, 5 feet 9 inches tall, and weighing 208 pounds. Darwin goes by the nicknames of Darvin, Landell Woodbury, and Londell Woodbury. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Deontay Brown, convicted of carjacking, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 25 years old, 5 feet 6 inches tall, and weighing 185 pounds. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest.
Demarius Mario Royster, convicted of carjacking, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 38 years old, 5 feet 10 inches tall, and weighing 240 pounds. Demarius goes by the nickname of Demarius Harris. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest.
Dorian James Amalfi, convicted of unarmed robbery, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 21 years old, 5 feet 10 inches tall, and weighing 170 pounds. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Edgar Bernard, convicted of escaping from jail, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 36 years old, 6 feet tall, and weighing 165 pounds. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Elder Jerome Houston, convicted of assault, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 27 years old, 5 feet 7 inches tall, and weighing 158 pounds. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Eric Lamar Hatchett, convicted of assault, is wanted for violating his parole. He is 30 years old, 5 feet 9 inches tall, and weighing 200 pounds. Eric goes by the nicknames of C-Hat and C-Hat Hatchet. If you have any information on this person or any other crime, call the Crime Stoppers Anonymous tip line. Earn a cash reward up to $1,000 if your tip leads to an arrest. Gerald Chambers is wanted for violating his parole. He is 43 years old, 5 feet 4 inches tall, and weighing 165 pounds. Gerald goes by the nickname of Silverback, 3rd Edition, and Terrell Chambers Bay. If you have any information